celebrate. That was funny.
And Sanji will get his Aurora.
All right, so
You can clearly see Aurora feel a lot lighter in their shoulders.
yeah.
Tlph look a little bit tense.
And after that, let's just say, forgettable game 4, we now have a draft that's stretching from both sides.
Man, the Matilda first pick onto the blue side really needs to pay off here for Aurora. Renegade has to be somewhat like Perks, aggressive. Matilda, not just be defensive. Of course, like game number 4, what happened with the Minotaur. Again, you can't blame them because Carl Tizzy had the Suyo. They were aggressive as possible. So let's see how this boils out.
Renegade #1 in first bloods drawn among all roamers.
Among all roamers.
So if anything, Perks had to watch Renegade
Literally the hitman.
play this Matilda. Find me a more fitting nickname for such a roamer, for such an MLBB talent, a superstar.
Yeah, literally. He also sings, you know. By the way, he has songs, so literal superstar for Aurora needs to shine brighter than the... You as well sing. Good, by the way.
Hey, here we go. Big engagements again. JP on Khalid. I think our analysts mentioned this is the first Khalid in the playoffs. Great way to tempo break Aurora. And you can see in the rotations of Liquid how they're playing aggressively. Again, this is their tempo.
Yeah. But again, I do like to point out what the panel has mentioned, that Demon Knight Alpha is a good counter. Compared to Suyu, but right now they go in the tier of Alpha. Gaktum out to 3, and JP draws the first blood. Okay, he's saying right now that I too, as a roamer, can rock a first blood.
I mean, he's Daddy JP.
And he's a Khalid.
He's disciplining all of these young bloods. He's been doing this since even before the World Championship was a thing. Did you know that?
Yes.
You know that? JP was part of the first team sent out to compete in Malaysia. Here we go, Turtles out.
Inspector shows, okay, Edward goes in with a penalty zone, but Coffee's he gets the turtle and clashes into it right now. Coffee's might fall down, Demon Kite's gonna fall down as well. A jungle for jungle as JP goes, flickers out, but Sanford though. Ganked up by 3 members of Aurora. That's a 2-for-1 trade. But Tlph gets the turtle.
Liquid may have pulled away sooner than the rest of them expected, but Aurora punished hard. Now we're at deadlock, 2-2. And yes, that was a bloody turtle at the cost of a Carl Tizzy and Sanford. But we're back to business here. Looking at Aurora's build right now. I assume that's Starlium Sight first up for Dome.
Yeah, for that. Yeah, and right now looking at Tlph, you know that the power spike of a Khalid is really 5 minutes in as they try to work on him. He does cast a Raging Sandstorm to make sure there's no kill onto Aurora. So Tlph, we all know whenever you pick a Khalid, you want to be as aggressive as possible in the early game, first 5 minutes. Try to disrupt the rotation of the jungle. If you can get a purple buff or an orange buff, that would be great. But Tlph needs also to instill discipline because they have a Renegade Matilda that could easily go out and counter-engage again when Edward has his penalty zone.
For sure, and you know the whole Phobius Harris situation with Dominic and Sanford, that only comes into play later on.
Yes.
So you wait for that to kick in before you gauge your aggression. So it's a difficult balancing act for Daddy JP, but then again, this is a world champion, an MDL champion.
MVP also, by the way. Finals MVP.
JP can do it, but against a 5-man stack like Aurora, easier said than done.
Imagine Aurora, debuting team, newly assembled, has a chance to bring down the defending champions for this game number 5.
It possibly their worst season yet.
Yeah.
Maybe only as bad as when Echo debuted in season 9. Second turtle already up, 3/4 of its health in. JP and Carl up front, immortal form on the Suyu.
Yeah, again, this is for TV to the Suyu. Can easily get the turtle, but here comes the Frigid Glacier. Calling gonna get the turtle and the kill onto Carl TT. The next target is JP, has a quick Sanford, but Edward goes in with the penalty zone. Next target, Sanford. They really want to go right after him despite the infernal pursuit. He's not gonna bring down Demon Kite, and Yue gets a triple kill. Sanji on the other hand answers with a kill. But look at this, a trade for a trade, blow for blow, and Edward
it's a wipeout! It's a wipeout!
It's a wipeout! But there's the pride of ice, but Edward doesn't care. It's a wipeout.
Wipeout for Aurora. Liquid may have overstayed their welcome. This is This is the same paradox. This is the same problem we told you about, the puzzle that Liquid have to work with. Yes, we should be aggressive in the early, but when are we ready? When does that actually pay off?
Yeah. And again, Aurora, this is what they were missing in game number 4. The aggression, the confidence to dictate the game, to go in, to full commit. And in that sequence, they weren't afraid to go in.
Aurora, after game 4, in the opening minutes of game 5, they woke up. They is awaked.
They awake. They're now ready to go head-to-head with the defending champions. Again, we have to commend Edward with a beautiful penalty zone. Despite the frigid glacier of Sanji actually connecting to a lot of members of Aurora, they still save that penalty zone for the counter-attack.
And now, the delayed payoff, the conversion from Aurora. They took this patiently, and they've now demolished the very first turret of the game. Quick look at the items. You can see the Stardom Scythe and the, oh wow, the Feather of Heaven already built up on Doming, while you can see here, Benny Cutie slightly behind.
Yeah, you can expect this. Again, this is a Harriet. This fight, that's what makes it more better or more outstanding, or because Doming more impressive there. Because there's a Phobius on the opposing team, and despite that, you're still able to do that. You haven't died yet. 1-0-4. You even got the turtle as Aurora works on the turtle. Okay, let's see if Froggy will try to contest, but Edward is really as aggressive as he can be. Demon Knight secures the turtle, raising that over JP just to walk away. But the circling eagle will be enough for Aurora to take that purple buff away from Carl.
Carl got it still.
Carl got it still.
But at the cost of so much. Aurora are bullying them.
Yeah, you're
sending them back even in their own jungle, JP!
You're even forcing JP to use a Raging Sandstorm defensively to escape. That's not a good sign if your Tlph and Aurora works on the mid-lane turret, and they will bring it down successfully.
So many picks from Liquid should be doing better against Aurora. But the synergy and the from out of nowhere aggression that Aurora are showing is taking Liquid off of their footing.
Yeah, and the catalyst for me, for the side of Aurora, is really Edward. Out of nowhere, the flicker penalty zone connecting on to 2, plus the aggressive Matilda again of Renegade.
It's enough to push 40, Carl Tlph out of a bush, and that already ruins Liquid's approach.
Yeah, it was enough to force JP to use the Raging Sandstorm to back off defensively.
And that's a non-starter. Carl Tlph here, finally built up his War Axe, but he's no longer as ever present in his jungle. Because again, these bushes are infested with Rora members. Look at that. Demon Kite in that orange buff bush.
They're marking their territories. They're saying this is ours. You can't just randomly walk into a brush without having that sense of urgency. What if there's one member of Aurora there?
And what's difficult is Sanji has to throw out a skill to check. And this is a mid-range mage you're looking at, the Aurora. So she could as well have popped her passive, and then, only then, does Liquid have full information. Even Benny Cutie, sure, you could throw out a random skill, but you're at risk of being forced to use your Purify and your Entropy.
So right now, the name of the game for Tlph is as much as possible extend the game. Try to back on the fact that you have Benny Cutie that at any given moment towards the late game can deliver a huge Benny bomb with the Nathan. And Aurora knows that, that's why they're trying to go for the Lord right away.
Here we go, Lord now doesn't have health.
Again, the penalty zone coming in from Edward. It's going to be a retribution battle, but they're forcing Carl Tlph out of the picture as Demon Kite gets the Lord. No casualties, but Aurora extending their lead to 3K plus the Lord.
It's not even a contest. There was no retry battle. Carl Tlph couldn't even get in range of a fully charged Queller. That's how hard it was for Liquid to break through. But there was a long, slow push down bottom by Benny Cutie. So there's some consolation there for the Cavalry. 3K ahead. Aurora sitting at about 9 minutes and a half. It's difficult. There's nothing Aurora's letting Liquid through.
Yeah.
Whether defensively or offensively, Liquid have to play to Aurora.
Yeah, they're really reactive right now. And as much as possible, if Sanji gets a huge frigid glacier, you see the battle club does not purify. That could easily turn things around for Tlph. But with the way Aurora is playing, it's hard to even land the frigid glacier.
Exactly, because again, the whole casting animation of the frigid glacier is enough of a window for Aurora to reposition.
Yeah. Especially they have Ren and again, but the Matilda guiding win is more than
That
enough.
too! That too!
Okay, so Lord marching in the bottom lane. Low health though, so they're easily gonna burst it down. So their holy shields will be popped in the bottom lane. And let's see if Aurora will force something out again. Edward has been doing wonders with the flicker penalty zone, but discipline will instill for Aurora.
Legend Zero has been phenomenal on this Terizla. In the recent weeks, Terizla actually slowed down in his appearances.
Not for Edward.
Right here, right now, this is the key pick. This is the game changer for Aurora MLBB. Looking at the items right now, about 800, 700 between Benny and Doming. And, all right, say what you will about Carl TZ struggling, but at least his farm is still slightly higher.
Yeah.
But is that enough, though? Is that what you need as the Suyu? He just built his Sea Halberd. Is that going to be enough to pop Renegade?
Well, at this point, that's better. That's not the worst situation. It's more than...
I see
nice.
the worst situation already.
What's the worst situation?
Sanji.
Oh.
Say, sure, all right? Best case scenario, you catch people with the frigid glacier. But what does that do? It just freezes them.
Yeah, okay, so...
He doesn't have damage right now. He's on his way to Holy Crystal, but how far away is he?
So if that's the case, if the frigid glacier doesn't land, so what will Sanji do next?
Exactly.
What's the next part for Tlph?
Bottom four, the way Aurora's playing, effectively disabled Sanji. They're contributing.
This is not the Sanji we're used to seeing.
It's not the mid lane genius.
It's not the mid lane genius. They're really having a hard time with how Aurora has been playing. And now, so at this point, how do you extend the game if you're Tlph? What do you do? Do you try to go contest for the neutral objectives like the Lord? Or will you just try and take a page from Omega's book and just defend until eventually Benny QT is able to deliver a huge Benny bomb?
I'll say it's the latter. This is the right move in the right direction. The fact that Liquid just allowed Aurora to take this Lord, despite the soft reset there. Because there's no way Liquid can break through that. So, best case scenario, they get enough farm on Sanji, they get enough farm on Benny, and then they defend inside the base. That's the best case scenario I'm seeing right now. Because even with Demon Kite at 0, 3, and 4, he's playing Utility Alpha right now. He doesn't need kills.
He doesn't need to.
It's all literally on Edward, Doming, and Yue.
He's literally a bodyguard. That's why Renegade, you can enable Renegade to be as aggressive as possible because Demon Kite's eventually going to soak up the damage. If Renegade is in trouble, rest assured Demon Kite will just pop the Spear of Alpha.
I'd reckon if it makes it to that point, if Sanford gets his D-Ice before everything is just upside down for them, maybe there's a chance. Because something tells me if there's an appeal for Liquid, then maybe Aurora's forward aggression could stop.
Let's see if it's even going to reach up to that point because the Lord will eventually burst down inhibitor down bottom. Benny QT doing his best to clear out the Lord here. They still have their holy shields in the middle lane. Minions up top for Aurora.
He's doing his darndest, and it seems to be enough. The wave up top cleared, another one in mid, and the Lord has been slain. Mid lane inhibitors
Look at
defending,
Edward.
but just barely!
Edward goes in with a penalty, so here comes the frigid glacier connecting on to 3 JP though. Sanji has to walk away. No casualties yet for Tlph. But Rora just out-sustaining the damage. A Pride of Ice will be casted and Domeng will bring down Sanji. That's one member down. Aurora on the verge of taking down the defending champions.
Flicker still up. Battle spells and ults. Now
Domeng!
JP's in trouble!
Domeng with a huge blow. And we are moments away from witnessing a defending champion bowing down to a debuting team, a newly assembled team, as Aurora shines bright over the Cowboys.